welcome back to my channel. This is Gamer Dom, and my journey down the Chinese tank destroyer line has continued, and I am now at tier 7. This is the T-34 2G fake tank. Now I've had this for quite a while. I've played 50 odd games in it, and I haven't done a video, mainly because I haven't had time, but also because I'm struggling with this thing. I've loved most of the other Chinese tank destroyers in the line until I got to this one, and I thought, is it me? But actually, talking to shoot, he's just given up on the entire line when he got to this point and he likes TDs. This is rather frustrating. Anyway, less of that. Let's get on to where it sits. Here we go. So we are here at tier 7. So we've come through the excellent Su-76G fake tank, through the god-awful 60G fake tank, to the very good WZ-131G fake tank, onto this thing, the tier 7. So maybe that's the secret. It's good one, bad one, good one, bad one. I don't know. But all I know is the top one I played on the test server was absolutely fantastic, which is why I'm continuing down this line. So yeah, so this is it. It sits, sorry, I'm distancing out there. T-34 2GFT. It is a fake tank. It is based on the T-34 2 medium Chinese tank. That was kind of the concept behind it, was to introduce a TD line into the Chinese tanks, but in the end they didn't implement any of these. They're all fake. They're all paper tanks. Don't think even prototypes were built of this thing. The grind is actually pretty reasonable, particularly because, for me at least, this gun, the second gun, is the one to play with. So it doesn't take much. You start with the same gun as you had on tier 6, which actually is a tier 8 gun in many ways. It's the same gun as on the Type 59. So it's actually quite a reasonable top gun. But when you move on, the next gun is just that little bit better. It's not significantly better, but it's a little bit better, and every little bit helps, as we know. So the grind's not awful. I think to get that top gun, I've just been looking at that, you didn't need to take the tracks. No, the two guns are way the same, so that's nice. You don't need to, in terms of grinding, you can go first gun to second gun without having to take any of the other upgrades. Then I think you will need the tracks to unlock the bigger engine, and certainly to unlock the top gun if you need it, if you want to play it. So anyway, let's have a look at it in the garage. I mean, it's a sleek looking beast, and I want to like it because it is such a, wow, a little stealthy little so-and-so. We'll come back to the gun. Starting with survivability, 800 hit points is awful. It's one of the lowest. It's this thing virtually is one shot when it goes up against tier 9s. Not good at all. And the armor is also pretty hopeless. 70, 45, 45. Now it is very well sloped, but it's only 70mm, so it really doesn't help very much. So let's just go over to Tanks GG just to have a look at that. So here we are in Tanks GG. This shows this 70mm armor. When you're looking straight at it, you're getting what, 120, something like that. Lower plate, same, 125, something like that. If you can angle it a little bit, you're getting, well, not much more, 120, 120. It really doesn't have much armor. And if you angle that way, then you present your side, which is only 45, which is getting 60. And if that isn't bad enough, you've got this commander's hatch on the top here, 45 that is. So really the only place you're going to stop any shots is around this gun mantle. There's a lot of spaced armor here, very strong armor. This underneath, well, that's the gun. Underneath it, 300. So this is the only chance you've really got of blocking much shots. Now the lower tier tanks will have a little bit of problem on some of this sloping, but really the sort of things you're going to be going up against. Bear in mind, tier 7 tanks, well, any tank destroyer, seem to get very unfavourable matchmaking, so you tend to go you tend to be bottom tier more often than not in a tank destroyer. So, you know, you're going to be up against tier 9 heavies and they're just going to blast through this. Tier 9 TDs will just go straight through this. It's also 20 millimeters of armor on top. So artillery will auto-pen this pretty much every time and will really screw you up. With only 800 health points, bit of a problem. So, yeah, not the best armored beastie in the world. So I find rarely do I actually bounce anything in this tank. Very rarely. Occasionally, but rarely. The other thing which is a huge disappointment for me is the mobility of this thing. It's supposed to do 50 kph and 16 in reverse. Now it probably does the 16 in reverse, but 50 forwards, I can't remember when I've actually hit 50. The ground resistances on it must be absolute cack. Traverse speed is very, very good, however. 42.99 is absolutely blisteringly quick, so it will whip around very nice. Power ratio of 16.14, so it's sluggish to get away. That's sort of slowish mediums, mediums, and then the top speed of 50, as I say, I think it's just fantasy. I've never managed to do that. Only 520 horsepower engine, but it is only dragging a 32-ton tank around because it doesn't really have any armor. Now the one thing that is very, very good on this is its camo values. Stationary concealment values. Hang on, let me just get rid of the crew because that will change it. Oops. There we go, drops a bit. So with paint on it and a camo net, I'm getting 44 point. I've just blocked it out now. 44.3. So I'm getting 4% for camo and 15 for the net. So, you know, it's a very, very stealthy beast. If I put the crew back in, it goes up even more. Very, very good. Even moving, this is nearly 20, 19%. But we all know that the game mechanics on spotting don't really allow anything to remain hidden for very, very long. So you do struggle eventually with it. View range is extremely good. It is 360 with another 90 here with my binos, which is what I use on this. Gets me up to 450, which is the area where you can spot for yourself, which is kind of important. So let's go back and have a look at the guns then. So as I said at the beginning, there are 3 guns. Let's just open them all out. There we go. So firstly, there's the stock gun that you get when you open the tank, which is the same one as on the tier 6. As I said before, it's basically the Type 59's gun. Very, very good gun. 8 rounds per minute, 181 penetration, 250 average damage. Very nice indeed. When you upgrade to the next one up, it doesn't go up significantly. You get a little bit faster rate of fire, so it goes up to 8.57 rounds per minute. The penetration goes up slightly, so it's 189, 244 with its skill rounds and 50 with its HE. Average damage is still the same, 250. Dispersion remains the same of 0.35, which is not bad at all. It's quite an accurate gun. And aim time is an excellent 1.8 as opposed to 1.9 with the stock gun. So it's well worth moving on to that gun when you possibly can. And as I said, I think you don't even need to get new tracks for this gun. You can get it virtually the first thing you unlock. In fact, my recommendation would be get this, get the tracks, then get the engine before you move on. Now the top gun is Enigma. You need to get it anyway because it's the only way you have to grind through to the next vehicle with it. But it's 122mm derp cannon. Now I'm all for big derpy guns, but I find this thing really unusable. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But so the rate of fire drops to 6.32. Penetration goes up slightly, 192 and 250. With a really, really nice 390 average damage. But dispersion is 0.4. You can't hit a barn door with it. And the aim time is 3 seconds. Now, the problem I have with this gun is it would be fine if you had significant amounts of armour on the tank. If you could play this thing up close and personal. The problem is you don't. You have 70mm of frontal armour. Okay, it's sloped, but it's only 70mm. You also don't have a huge amount of speed, despite the fact it's supposed to do 50. So if that gun would, the way that gun to me works is if you have something that's pretty well armoured, you can drive up to some, you know, poor medium or heavy tank that's sort of otherwise engaged, derp them, pull back, and then wait for your reload, and again rinse and repeat. The problem is this tank is ideally suited to long range sniping. It's got very good camo, it's very small, it's very sleek, yet the 122mm gun just is so inaccurate that you can't play that gun. So it depends on your play style. If you're going to try and play up close and personal, then go 122. But good luck if you're going up against, you know, this. Bear in mind, this is a tier 7 tank, so you will face tier 9s. And if you're going up against tier 9 heavies, good luck. They will virtually one-shot you. Especially since you got so little armor. So I found it really hard to use the 122, because when I tried to play it sitting back, couldn't hit a barn door. The 100mm, however, has the accuracy. 0.35 is very good, and aim time of 1.8 is very good. So it fits its role as a snipey tank, snipey TD. And with that fantastic camo, you can sit back and snipe to your heart's content. So I have tried out the 122, but got rid of it, and gone back to the 100mm. And you know, it's how you want to play it, it's how you want to play it. My problem then remains the fact this thing is just so slow. Anyway, enough of that kerfuffle. Let's put the crew back in and we'll take it out to play. So here we are on Ensk. It's a tier 9 game, so a bottom tier. This is a perfect example of where this tank really struggles. Look how slow this is to get going. Whoa. So I couldn't even get past an IS-3 there because I'm so slow. This no way this does 50. I just don't get it at all. Can you see me? No, I don't think you can. No, you can't see me. You can't resist coming back though. If I blind shot towards where that Emil was. You can see the accuracy is pretty good. I managed to hit the little bit of hull I had to aim for on that WZ-120. But my first shot was a bit rushed against the Emil because I thought he'd pull back because somebody else had shot him, and I managed to miss. But you see, even then I remained hidden. I might get spotted now. I'm trying to track that guy. Yep, tracked him. Reload. Got him. There we go. Good. To me, this is how this tank is best played. Well, the Emil's gone. Now we can move forward. See this? Look at the speed of this thing. It's flipping hopeless. Fire. Ah! 2 fires, one after another. Oh well. I was quite adventurous and quite aggressive and probably paid the price. I should have moved when I missed that AMX. 5 for his lower plate. I'm not sure it's actually a weak spot. I'm still getting used to those guys. Anyway, you can see camo very good, pretty good gun, a pretty accurate gun. No mobility. Let's come back with the result. So as I thought it probably would, it finished up being a win. We got a 3rd class, we got 5 for effect. Finished up, where's that? 2, 4, 6 on the team, 1089 damage, 1 kill, 662 base XP, 8 shots, 6 hits, 5 pens. Took 2 hits, both of which penned us because I said before we got no armour. Mind you, I was trying to brawl with tier 9 heavies, which wasn't probably the best idea. 26,000 credits. If you took away the 6,000 from the New Year thing, what's that? 18,000 profit, which isn't fantastic. Shell costs are quite high. They're very, very high for the 122mm, but not so bad for the standard 100mm. And 224 XP would have been just under 2,000 without the Christmas bonus. So there you go. Yeah, underwhelming, don't you think? Let's try again. Okay, so this time we are one of the chosen 3 on steps, top tier. It's an encounter game. So in theory, this is the sort of map we should love. My problem with it is that I can't get into position quickly enough because it's so flipping slow. There's no way this thing does 50. I think if I came down off the hill without the handbrake on, I might get 50. Look how sluggish this is. Barely doing 20. Now finally getting onto the flatter bit, up to 26. Although the Skoda's pulling away, Hellcat's pulling away on the Cromwell, you know, all these tanks I should at least be able to match a little bit of speed for. But 34, 35, 36. This is supposed to do 50. 37, 38, 39, we're doing 40. Oh, I can hear the... Look how long that took. I'm not even at... And now I've lost that speed just because there's a slight incline there. We have to do a bit of guarding here, aren't I? Because nobody's guarding the middle. Oh, now finally a 67's coming this way. That's the right guy. I think that's my problem. I like TDs to have a little bit of speed to redeploy, to get in positions, to get ready to ambush the enemy. This TD is incredible. Hello. No, I can't see him. Oh, there you go. I like that. That's a bit hopeful thinking on that shot, that kind of distance. Lost the heavy line. So it just needs speed. It hasn't got any. Only had a bit of speed. Sacrificed his tank to get the reset. Oh yeah, I love this gun. The gun is outstanding. Missed. He's gonna die. I thought he was actually going the other way. Actually bouncing shells. And we won. They capped out. I don't believe it. So you see, the accuracy of the gun is fantastic, and that's, to me, that's where this tank excels. Is in the sniping role. He said, trying to get his teeth back in. Which is why I think the 100mm is a far better gun. And I would recommend, unless you are very, very, I don't know really how you'd have to. I don't know how you could actually do better with that 122mm gun, because as I say, it really is set up to get in people's faces and derp them, and you can't do that in my mind with this tank. It's just not got the armor. You see, I was blocking a few lower tier tanks at distance when they were trying to hit me, but not up close. It won't block. So we got 5 for effect there. Finished up 4th on the team, 5th on the team. 967 damage, 2 kills, 478 base XP. It's a shame they capped out. We could have done a lot more damage there. 10 shots, hit with 5, penned with 5, including some pretty outrageous long range shots. We took 5 hits. Only 2 of it penetrated, 3 bounced, but look at that, it was only 375 from 3 hits blocked, so they were pretty low caliber, low tier tanks that were firing at us. So then the armor will stand up. 23,000 credits, would have been about 19,000 if you take out the Christmas bonus, and we made 717 XP. Yeah, so it's not a bad TD in my mind, but I just it lacks speed primarily. That's my big problem with it. It's just so slow. And I think if you are comfortable firing if you're a snipey TD player and you want to play it like that, which actually I personally think this is how that tank should be played, then you want to use the 100mm. Don't use the 122. It's just too wildly inaccurate. If, however, you really want to be balls deep, get in there, then 122 is a good option. But be aware that you've got only 70mm of frontal armor, even angled. You're not going to stop a lot of close range, and you haven't got a lot of hit points to work with, only 800. So you will die very, very quickly in that role, unless you get very fortunate. So as I say, that's where the speed comes back, because it had a bit more. If it was like the WZ120 1G FT, the premium version, you'd be able to, that's got a bit of mobility, so you can play a derpy role, because you can dive in when they're busy, fire, and get out again before they've had a chance to deal with you. This thing's just too slow. You can get in there, derp, and then they just turn around and blast you, and you got 800 hit points and 70mm of armor. You're going to die. So there you go. Anyway, hope this was helpful. If it was, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. In the meantime, enjoy your games, have fun, try not to take it too seriously, and I'll see you again soon. This is Gamer Dom, signing out.